Oh, guys, good, you're here. I am so excited. Guess what?
I hope this isn't about your podcast again.
Why, did you finally listen to it?
I came in like a wrecking ball.
The Grooming Next Door is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Welcome to the Grooming Next Door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
And here's your host, my mommy and daddy, Chris and Stella Green.
Hello, everybody. It is episode 81 of the Groomer Next Door. Man, my number. This is weird. 81. Only 19 away from 100. This is cool. When I played sports, I always wore the number 81, and that's this episode. I've actually looked forward to this. Well, sitting next to me and returning to the show, and we are so happy to see you, is Sarah.
Hello.
Well, unfortunately, Sarah still doesn't feel the greatest. Went to the doctor this week, and you have a double respiratory infection. Congratulations.
Yeah, I had enough to where that my antibiotics they got me on hasn't done anything.
Yep, they gave you a Z-Pack. They gave you Robitussin with codeine. They loaded you up, and it
did nothing.
Well, I think it helped you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't feel like death warmed over, but I don't feel good.
That is true. And that's why we didn't have you on last week. Of course, being that Sarah loves me so much, she listened to the podcast and, oh, wait, no, you didn't. You see, folks, we don't listen to the show. We record it, and it's out there for all of you to enjoy. But we don't actually, we don't listen to it, which is weird.
I don't listen to podcasts in general.
Maybe you will.
I do not have a work style that will allow me to. I constantly have somebody coming in. I'm constantly having to put pause on my music, and then I don't get to come back to it till 2 days later.
That is true. You do have a lot of traffic in and out. Well, we're going to dive into the weekly roundup and kind of cover what happened in the week.
The Weekly Roundup, yeah.
Well, it was my very last week at Shadowwood until after grooming school.
It was your very last week as just a bather.
That is true. Which, honestly, it really sucks. I'm actually really sad about this. It's great to progress, but, familiarity really is what it's all about. I love that, knowing what I'm going to go into work and do each day. I've been doing it for 1.5 years, and I love it. So it is weird. I'm going to miss everything about it. But we had a pretty much boatload of dogs would be the best way of putting it, as always. And you poor thing, you've been doing it sick. Mm-hmm. But on top of it, you are now 2 weeks official of being smoke-free. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. That's been a little difficult.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks smoke-free. It's been quite nice. I don't smell like smoke anymore, which is awesome. I don't have to have a cigarette before I walk in anywhere. I don't have to worry about when's my next cigarette break. I just go and just deal with life as is. I don't have to worry about it. And that was just a pain in the butt.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I mean, what you're going through and just actually quitting is remarkable and admirable, and we're all very proud of you.
I appreciate it.
That's definitely a huge feat for you.
2 weeks strong.
2 weeks strong.
No. And with you leaving...
Yeah, you picked a great time to quit sniffing glue.
Right.
Yeah. So we, as I had said last week, we got everything finalized. The only thing we didn't have I don't think we had it last week, was a place to stay, which I now have a place to stay.
Yeah, we did. It was a weekend that we found. It was a week ago.
Was it a week
A
ago?
week ago today.
I might not have actually had the information when I recorded the last podcast. I can't remember. So maybe if I did, you guys all would remember. I don't remember if I did. So starting this week, I will be recording each day kind of what I'm going through. We know that there are different people that are actually going to Grooming Academy all throughout the world that have actually sent us messages. And, this is kind of like their platform to go to. That's quite entertaining and quite interesting. I think one thing that we find that's weird is when we find out that people are like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I've seen your videos, and I know exactly who you are." That's always weird.
You're skipping a story there.
Well, I wasn't gonna go into the story yet. I'm gonna actually go into it in a little bit. Now on the dogs that stood out for you this week, what anybody?
Not really. I just trying to get better. Being so sick, shortness of breath, can't breathe properly. Dogs being difficult. When they're difficult, then you lose your breath quicker. Um, Everybody knows that I'm a groomer that takes care of difficult and challenging dogs. Dogs that other groomers scream at, yell at, push around. Um,
I'm gonna go get the
oh,
email.
So it's just been a little difficult with trying to breathe, but for the most part, there was no real um, dog that stood out to me. We've been having a lot of tick dogs lately because it's the season. So,
Keep going.
I can't.
Okay. I had to get the email that was actually sent to us. This week we actually received an email, so I wanted to go and grab that really quick. Sorry about that. Sarah's pretty much probably looking at me like, this was not the time to do it.
Yeah, I can't exactly hold my brother or speak for long periods of time.
Well, I'm sorry. Plus, you have to get back into the swing of things and doing a podcast. It is a lot. But we did receive a really cool email this week, and I thought, you know what? I wanted to read it. We responded back, like always. We always, whenever we get an email, we respond back pretty quickly. But we got this email. Won't mention name or anything like that. But it really, really was this cool email from this lady in New York. What?
You said email like 4 or 5 times. I think.
That's because
they understand that you got an email.
I was trying to actually find the actual message. Sorry. This is where, I kind of need somebody to kind of dive in there and help me. Where's Claire?
It's kind of hard for me to do if I can't keep my breath in.
True. So I actually got this one, and it says, just watch your segment on the darling Henry, the smooth-coated collie. Was hoping to find a clue as to what the groomer, our local shop in New York, I won't mention where, who recently bathed my gorgeous girl, what she did wrong. She came back with her rear end and hindquarters all fluffy and not laying flat. It's been almost 2 weeks now, and the hairstyle still hasn't flattened. Groomer says she didn't use any clippers, but I wonder. Any clue as to what kind of tool she might have used? Or maybe used too strong a blower? Or does it sound like it might flatten out in the next bath? If nothing was wrong, was done, and if she did do something wrong, any idea what it could have been, like a stripping comb or such? Well, we responded back to what was the possibility. Obviously, it's just a matter of what could have been, what is the possibility. So
Well, see, with a smooth collie, their hair is actually rough, and it's supposed to lay flat. Very little undercoat. They do shed quite a bit. You gotta make sure the shedding's taken care of. But it is very uncharacteristic of the hair to fluff, like a poodle or something. And the hair is supposed to be relaxed backwards, laying flat. So a number of things could have happened. they could have used a Furminator when you're really not supposed to, or they're doing the Furminator too hard and it's ripping part of the hair, so the hair is kind of curling up. Kind of like if you were to take a scissor to ribbon and drag it along one of the blades, it kind of curls. Blow dryer, I don't know. I don't see that being a thing.
I would think it would have flattened if it was a blow dryer.
Well, if you use it in reverse, it helps fluff. But I don't know if any blow dryers can actually fluff a smooth collie's hair straight up. But hopefully they weren't using any kind of stripping knives. That would have been a little silly.
Yeah,
for a regular grooming shop to do that. So I mean, you got to be careful when brushing dogs. You're not supposed to use certain, like Akitas. You're not supposed to be using a Furminator on Akita. People do it, and it's fine for them. But you won't see a show Akita being used, or a Furminator being used on a show Akita. Yeah, I would find out exactly what tools, but then at the same time, they might be embarrassed for what happened.
Yeah.
Another thing that could happen too is that when they're in their kennel, they're not fully dried. They push their butt up against the kennel, and the kennel pushes the hair upwards. Because that happens too. I've noticed there are dogs who, when they lay on a grate or they lay in a kennel, when they stand back up, they kind of got a wavy look to them because of laying on their hair that is still damp. Could be a number of different things.
Well, we sent back a response, and just a thorough kind of idea. Of course, you're only going to be able to pinpoint each thing of what you think could have happened, and that's going to happen. So, we really thank you for the email. It was actually kind of cool to get that. Sometimes we get it just directed onto our YouTube postings. Sometimes they just send us the email. So either way, it was really cool. I always enjoy seeing them come through. Again, finishing off this week, we have a new girl who's going to be starting on Monday. Trained her on Friday. Really,
just the tip of training on Friday. There's no way to train someone to bathe a dog in one day.
No. But gave her the idea of what the standards are, because we want to maintain very high quality. So gave her pretty much the basics. She's gonna learn how to do things, and she has a good support system with you watching what she's doing. So I'm really actually quite hopeful that everything works out.
Well, not everybody can be a bather. Not everybody can be a dog groomer. There's dog groomers out there that we have seen recently in the past year shouldn't be grooming. So I can move closer. So you really got to get in there and pay attention to every little thing these people are doing to make sure that this is right for them. And she seems like she has a pretty good head on her shoulders. She seems like she can handle the animals pretty well. One thing I told her, just like I told you, I groom aggressive dogs, so do you.
I told her that. Yeah, that's what I do.
And so by going through step by step, she seems like she can handle it. It's only part that I don't understand is why it's been so muggy here.
Yeah, it has been really bad. The humidity's high.
And when the humidity is high, it's harder to get dogs dry. So Keith went out and bought an AC unit just in time for this new girl to start. So she's not going to be baking in the bathing room while trying to dry. Because that's no good for anybody.
No, it's not.
And luckily Keith will be the first one to jump at it to get things fixed. So the dogs are comfortable and us employees are comfortable.
Well, it seemed to kind of spin out of where we needed this. Came out late last week, and then we got it handled early this week. It was something that we hadn't encountered. It was, I'm kind of like, oh man, this girl's starting with this new room. Unlike the small breed den that I used to work in, she has all this nice stuff.
The
I'm
old
like,
bathing room used to work in.
yeah.
What we're in now used to be the small breed den.
Oh, you're right. You're right. But I'm like, man, you got it nice. You're coming in at the right time. But hey, you know what? It's all good. I mean, I'll when I come back, I'll probably bathe my dogs for a while. Unless she's really good, then and she can handle it, then she'll take my dogs. But
Well,
it's gonna
I
be really
think
challenging.
she'll be able to handle it. The other girl that was supposed to be our bather,
Oh, don't start me on her.
she washed out pretty darn quick.
She didn't even finish a full day.
Well, she used to be the bather over at my old shop. And I was like, oh, okay, because I know my old shop has some seriously high standards. And that's the same standards we have at our shop. So I'm like, okay, we got this. Well, come to find out, she did not want to do my Newfoundland. Because
No big dogs.
Yeah, no big dogs.
No aggressive dogs.
Because she was small.
Uh-huh.
And she said that she's too small to handle large and aggressive dogs. I'm like,
Well, then you're not going to survive.
you yourself are putting limitations on you, not the job itself. So if you're gonna put limitations on yourself, what's the point of having you around?
Yeah, she was demanding like she actually has accomplished something. She really did kind of paint a very bad picture, and
She thought so high of herself.
yeah, that was it. It's like, look, you know, it's great to have a high opinion of yourself and have some pride, but don't be arrogant and cocky and just pretty much think that you walk in here and you have all this that you don't have, that you have all this so-called accolades, and walk around the place like all of us should be enamored by you. It doesn't work that way. And so best of luck to you, lady. You're not going to survive in this industry.
No, so, and then to tell me her guardian lawn care company was much more important than bathing. Okay, that's fine. You know, people put their priorities differently. Your gardens and stuff like that are more priority. Well, then my priority is to give my attention to someone that's not you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the big problem. I mean, you want to take a side job as more important. You want to do this, just
and
because...
this is after calling me and asking
begging,
me,
really.
Yeah, if there's anything she could possibly do, anywhere, anything. And to come and find out, oh, well, I'm going to be busy the next few weeks, so after summer I can bathe.
Yeah, no, you're fired.
You're done. I don't have a threshold of tolerance. Chris can tell you. I can tolerate, but when it comes to my business, I have no tolerance. Somebody does something to make me mad, you're done.
Well, in her situation, she had quite a lot of experience that obviously it should have translated. It didn't. Obviously, look, you can do a small dog in a short time. I guarantee she would not have kept our standards, but just the makeup of what she was presenting, she wasn't going to keep our standards.
It's like the biggest problem is that we groom 160-pound Newfoundland. We groom 100-pound golden retriever or golden doodle. We groom a 90-pound Irish setter. We have so many large dogs, and we are golden doodle central.
Yeah. Oh, we have one
golden doodles out our ears. How many golden
standard poodles?
Yeah, standard poodles too. We got quite a few of them. So to tell me
German
you
Shepherd
can't do
for
large,
BBNs.
I know Eiger alone.
Mm-hmm.
She'd never be able to do Eiger.
Mm-mm. She couldn't do Rocco.
No, not even Rocco.
No, and Rocco's trained to be a good dog and still couldn't have done it. See, that's the thing
No,
here.
I love Eiger. I don't know if I want anybody touching Eiger.
I feel the same way about Henry. It's really hard for me to have said goodbye to Henry, because I love that dog. That's another part about this week is, for me, I was seeing the dogs. I got to see Jake from State Farm this week, which I love Jake. His transformation alone is remarkable. But
I think I'll make sure that you're going to be in town by the time it comes out for a groom.
Nope. No, because it's 3 months from now.
No. in 8 weeks or 5 weeks or something like that.
I won't be here.
I'll be here in August, so I'll make sure you're here for that.
I'm not going to be back until September. I mean, I'll make a trip back at least once in the next 3 months, but that's for 4th of July.
We'll see. I'll make sure that he's here
Nope.
that Monday.
Nope. The new girl needs to see it and learn. You know, that's the best part.
But I don't want to teach her.
Yeah, well, she's gotta learn.
And Craig can't touch him.
Nope. So this is where, part of this whole, show is about, what we go through, then it's down to news and having, hopefully we have guests every once in a while. And this is the job. This is what the podcast is.
So what's going to be changing for us as the groomer next door?
Is there's going to be pluralized?
Yeah. But we will be doing
asterisk.
We'll be doing remote call-ins. Meaning I'll call you.
I don't think you'll be doing a call-in. We're going to be trying it off of FaceTime.
FaceTime crackles so much.
Well, we're going to try it. We're going to try a test this week.
Yeah, because when you're... Plus, again, when we did FaceTime, you're over in Qatar.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to do our normal show the way we normally do it. So we'll see what we do. We'll get there. It's going to be... The next few months will be interesting. We'll come down with a great plan when I'm done with the whole thing. We'll have it all planned out. That's when we'll know. But then again, when of course FaceTime crackled out, it was 8,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So I'm 100 miles away. Not a big deal.
But in grooming school wise for you, now that we have a bather that we're going to be training, and you got all your tools.
Yep.
$700 and some odd later, $800 later, you got your tools. 2 fancy shears.
With my name on them.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, I had them inscribe Chris's name on the side of them. So he's got Christopher Green inscribed into his shears.
It should say the groomer next door. It should have. But yeah.
And then a bunch of blades. There's this really cool clipper out there. I want one. So next time I can come up with 150.
You mean you're gonna take mine when I come back?
Either way.
Okay.
Don't be stingy.
Yeah.
The clippers by Wall. WAHL
Yep.
Wall. It's an Arco clipper. It's wireless, so it's got battery operated, and it's got a 5-in-1 blade. It goes from like a 8, 9, 10, 15, and 30. And those are the shortest blades that we use to kind of scoop out pads and sanitaries and such. I'm like, I want a cordless clipper. One of my other grooming friends, she has a mobile grooming out in California. She's got an actual wireless clipper that does heavy duty work.
Oh wow.
I want a wireless clipper.
Well, part of this is, I will do a daily audio log that we'll put into the show.
Let us know what tools that you've used.
Yeah, I'm going to try to be as in-depth as possible. We start work over at the school. We start all this really early, a lot earlier than we start here.
Yeah, an hour and a half earlier than usual.
Yeah, so that's going to be a challenge.
I'm sorry, I don't know anybody that really wants to drop off their dog at 7 a.m.
Yeah, but it is a bigger part of Missouri, so I can see. I mean, it is a bustling town.
Out in California, we started at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
and then we worked up until 9.
Yeah.
So 9 o'clock. People are dropping off the dog at 6 o'clock at night to get groomed, picking them up at 9.
You mean 6 o'clock in the morning?
No, at night.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking about
7 a.m.
Okay.
to 9 p.m.
I got you.
People drop off their dogs at 6 o'clock p.m. and picked them up at 9. That was crazy, but we still had takers.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm definitely worried. I'm definitely nervous. Obviously a lot's on it, and I have a lot of people, which is nice, rooting for the success. But, I want to log all this and put this all into our show, and, all of the support that I get from this is what's going to actually help. It's going to really help.
Poor Claire. She's having a hard time with Daddy leaving.
Yeah, I was surprised that she still remembers 2 years ago, and it's kind of re-emerged, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's definitely having some issues with it. I'm having issues with it. I mean,
She keeps saying every few minutes, oh my gosh, Daddy's leaving in 2 days.
In
Daddy's
one
leaving
day.
in 1 day.
Yeah, she's been doing that for the last 6 days.
I gotta get Daddy a trophy so he can pretend like he won something.
Yeah, it was a Father's Day trophy.
So he can pretend like he won something. I was like, oh God, kid, we gotta work on this.
Yeah, it's rough. So we'll see.
Especially being gone during Father's Day.
Yeah,
He'll be gone during my birthday.
I am looking forward to Claire's birthday. When it's Claire's birthday, this is almost over.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. And if all goes well, I'm going to get done sooner. I don't care about the money. I care about getting the knowledge. And if she says, you can do this on your own. You can go. You can do this. I will be packing and on my way back. Because honestly, my biggest thing is I want to just get back to Shadowwood. I'm going to miss everybody, to no end. I'm going to miss the dogs. I'm going to miss everything. So...
get your butt back. So doing your 3 dogs a day.
Yeah.
And what's great too is that now Shadowwood will have 2 professionally trained. Formal. Blah, 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 blah.
You speak English?
Blah.
Sometimes. Part-time.
Maybe.
Part-time.
Maybe.
Yeah. I love you so much.
But I'm sorry. I'm still sick.
Hey, the fact that you're in front of a microphone right now, that's actually amazing.
And not at the ER.
Well, you're actually in, and this is something that I shouldn't say, but she's actually not coughing. This is actually a good sign.
I'm fighting it.
I believe it.
But what I was saying, it was nice that pet resort. I was just
Shadowwood.
Shadowwood Pet Resort LLC will now have 2 groomers who have gone to school to learn how to groom, not one groomer that went to school and the other groomer learning from that one that went to school. No, we have 2 groomers that have went out and paid their dues to get a formal education.
Right. And I love the fact that I've actually been doing this a year and a half, just earning my place by doing what I'm doing. I've earned community respect. I've been able to develop my game by doing what I'm doing, and that's, for me, it's, as somebody who played sports, that's kind of almost that whole, I paid my dues by working through everything, learning what I can learning a lot from you, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna learn more from you. So it's one of those things. I'm totally happy with it. I was thinking, well, am I going to do this in January, February, March of next year? And that was always the plan. It was the plan, oh gosh, 3 months it was the plan to do this. And, we kind of kept a lot of this stuff, to ourselves, but we had planned it for next year. Well, why wait until then? Let's get this over with and get started.
Well, we just needed to make sure we had enough customer base to handle you coming back. And
turning away 2 to 3 dogs a day was definitely showing we have the customer base.
Keith was a little worried. He goes, I don't know if we can support 2 groomers. I'm like, you don't know that until you get that groomer in there. I said, your business, business is like a fish. You put it in a small tank. It's only going to get as big as that tank. Put it in a nice, big, huge tank, it's going to grow and grow and grow. So you have a business inside a very large county.
Right.
And we have people coming to us as far as the fort.
Yeah, about 30 miles in almost every direction.
30 to 40 miles in every direction. And then we have to rush to get them out because they don't want to drive 40 minutes home and come back 40 minutes. And oh my gosh, right? But we have people coming in from Salem, from Steelville.
Right.
And just because they know what kind of people we are.
Well, we really do want that quality control. You know, it has to stay at a high quality. I mean, these guys, everybody who picks up their dogs, the same response every time across the board is, "Wow, my dog is so soft and smells so good. It looks so perfect."
My dog wants to come back and say goodbye to you before they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what was nice this week is, you know, a couple customers, they had read on Facebook that I was leaving. And, you know, they came in, sent well wishes either on Facebook or in person. And that's really cool. That is really cool. That means, you know, you're doing something right.
Yeah, you're touching lives.
Right. You're making some kind of impact, some kind of difference. So that's really been the big deal for me. I'm just looking forward to coming back. You know, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you get to go away and do this." Yeah, I've done this stuff before. I rather be around, you know, Sarah and Claire all the time. That's how I stay going, how my motivation goes. You know, it's these two. These two are the ones that actually keep me in the right path. Excuse me. They keep me going in the right path. And if I'm apart from them, I know what I'm gonna face. I know the challenges. I've been down it, so I'm prepared.
Yeah, my challenges are a little different than yours.
Yeah.
You have the stress and the pressure of learning everything you can so you can come back and hit the ground running. With me, we're sitting outside right now, and in front of us is our brand new to us, Ford Escape. Okay. Beautiful. Love driving it. A lot of fun. Chris gets to take it with him. So that's 3 months that we have a brand new car. I don't get to drive. 3 months. And then I'm going to have to pick up extra hours to help pay for everything. And then we have so many customers that people are starting to get mad. So I'm going to have to pick up extra days because of that too.
What's nice is when I come back, though, I can alleviate these books. Our books are
yeah.
so pushed right now. I can alleviate that problem.
It's stretched out so thin. Oh my gosh, it's like, yeah, I could stay here until 7. Let's shove another dog.
Well, what's nice is that that 4 week wait list right now, plus on top of that, we're also getting a lot of people coming in for boarding going, "Well, I don't have an appointment for grooming, but if there's a chance," and it's like,
or those people that don't want to wait the full 2 weeks and end up going somewhere else.
That's it too.
And then coming back to us, "I should have waited. I'm sorry. This is horrible."
Yeah, but you know, this is where. Yeah, go ahead.
So on top of the SUV is going to be somewhere else that we're paying for, and Chris is going to be gone with all those awesome, fancy, nifty tools that he has. Any groomer knows. You work with your tools till they die. And then you replace them slowly, and it's like Christmas when a new pair of shears come in. It's Christmas when your new set of guard combs come in. He had all of it come at once. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. All these cool tools I will be able to borrow until he comes back. And then being able to be, or I'm going to be a kind of like a single mom until he's back.
You've done this before, though.
Yeah, and it's not easy.
Oh, I know, but it's not easy. It's not easy being a single person either.
If it wasn't for my my mom or my brother, none of this would be able to be possible.
I wonder if we have. I'm sure we have a couple listeners that actually are single, and probably say, "I love my single bachelor style life. I can't do it." But then again, I have not been single for so long that
it's like you traded in your family for an SUV, a room to rent, and school.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what this is. And it's almost kind of like, in some sense, you're... the best way to explain it in a metaphor is it's almost like, you know, that divorce. You get a one room to live in instead of a whole house. You know, because I'm going to hermit the heck out of this. Pretty much live off of fast food because I'm not going to make meals for myself. I'm just not the type. I overmake food, and it would cost me more than just going to Fazoli's or something and having a ravioli pasta.
And then he gets to go eat out. Yeah, he gets to go.
Okay, I will take like the pasta you're making tonight. I will take things like that and our, you know, our dinners that we have with our stupid TV shows that we watch and all the enjoyment that comes with it.
We're not going to be able to finish Roswell.
Well, we can watch it. I can watch it on my end. You watch it on your end, and we'll finish it. Or we'll pick it up in 3 months.
You can't pick it up in 3
I know it's not really fun. But yeah, there's so much that goes along with it. So this whole episode is pretty much a lot about what's in store, and following us on this next chapter. I mean, in some sense, this is a show, so parts of shows are storylines. At least we have a storyline, unlike some things. That's a good thing. So that's pretty much our weekly roundup, and next week, of course, we'll start in on what transpired this week, how did it all work out, so we'll go into that. But
what's gonna be nice is next time we do the podcast and we're talking to each other, we're gonna be able to tell each other stories that we don't know about because we weren't together. The problem with working with each other and living with each other, there's no new stories because we experience them all together at the same time.
We don't know what it's like anymore to actually go, so how was work? Oh wait, I was there. We drive to work together. We work together. It's such a it's kind of weird. It's like life is the shirt and we're the sleeves. It's really strange. Weird metaphor for you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, well, let's dive into the actual GND newsroom. So, in our GND newsroom this week, I have 2 stories for us. One of them I've been wanting to do for weeks, but other stories keep coming up that are actually more important, so I've kind of put this one on the back burner, but it's hysterical. Oregon couple call 911 when their cat becomes irate. I'm going to actually play the clip for you. I hope you guys get as much of a laugh out of this as I did.
It's not your average crime, but a US family were forced to call for help after their 22-pound Himalayan cat held them hostage. Lee Palmer phoned the police after the angry cat scratched his 7-month-old baby, trapping them inside a bedroom.
Yeah, hi. I have a kind of a particular emergency here. My cat attacked our 7-month-old child, and I kicked the cat in the rear, and it has went off over the edge, and we aren't safe around the cat. It's a very large Himalayan, and we're trapped in our bedroom. He won't let us out of our door.
Okay, does the child need medical attention?
No, he's just got scratches on his forehead. But the cat, we don't know what to do about the cat. He's trying to attack us. He's very, 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 very hostile.
So
I tried to get a hold of animal control.
Hang on just a second. You guys are inside your bedroom right now.
Yeah, and when I leave out the bedroom to let the police in, I'm going to have to fight this cat.
Hang on just a second. And when you say the cat is large, how large?
22 pounds, maybe.
And you said your child does not need medical attention, right?
No, he's just got a couple gashes on his forehead. They're very small, little punctures. He's got a little bump.
Okay.
I kind of got the cat before he did any more damage.
Okay, and do you think the cat is ill?
I don't know. I think that the cat he's got kind of a history of violent. He's kind of a violent cat already. But he's bad right now. He's charging us. He's at our door, bedroom door.
911 sent police over to contain the cat, and the family are considering what to do with their feline foe now that they've had a baby.
He came after us, and then I grabbed the baby, and I grabbed the...
That was pretty good.
That was pretty bad.
That's pretty good. I mean, there's another one out there. This is not the first actual 911 call and story. There's another one, and I couldn't find it, but they were more panicking and, oh my God, it's gonna come in the room. We're going to die. It was, oh boy. So I mean, if you've heard the story before, I'm pretty sure some of you may have heard it. I've been wanting to play it, but like I said, I have other ones. But 22 pounds is a big cat.
That's a big cat.
But,
well, cats are so fast.
Well,
and
you might not have been that fast.
Oh, trust me. A cat is fast. And bad things can happen. so quickly.
Oh, but dude, this was
can't,
funny. But this was funny.
I can see where it's legitimate.
We're barricaded in the house. The cat has us trapped in the room.
But at the same time, I know I don't understand this.
Give the cat some treats already, some catnip. A little bit of cat treats. Let love the cat a little bit.
I'm gonna have to fight the cat to let the officers in.
I kicked it in the butt, and once I kicked it in the butt, that's when the cat just said, "Oh no, I've had it with you." I mean, seriously. I mean, this guy probably has lost his man card forever. There's no way of getting your man card back from this. At least that's my take on it.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, have your wife call. I would have had you call. I could not have actually made that phone call. Hi, 911. My cat wants to eat me, and I'm barricaded in the room. What? How long until you can actually send somebody out to save my butt? I'm sorry. I got a pizza on the way. Do you think they can be here before the pizza? Because I'm hungry and
send animal control.
Yeah, it's not animal control.
The tranquilizer dart.
So I found it really funny.
I got a particular emergency here.
One of the things is, this cat's already had history of actual aggression. For starters, you have a baby. I don't think these people actually did a great deal of research on having a cat and a baby. I mean, we know this. Remember when we had Claire, a cat can lay on a baby's face and suffocate it.
Yeah.
So apparently,
or they like the smell of the breath of the baby, and they're suffocating them because they're trying to breathe in their milk breath.
Yeah.
I particularly, because of what we went through, we had to give up 3 of our amazing cats because when
we were fostering though.
Yeah,
we were fostering.
The place didn't have room for them, so we're like, okay, we'll keep them at our house, even though we weren't supposed to have them. But that was at the same time I got pregnant, and they made me sick. A pregnant woman shouldn't deal with anything to do with litter box because it could make the baby sick. There's a lot of
kill the baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why cats aren't very good for pregnant people. This might make a few people mad, but
this is a fact. This is not an opinion.
Right. So since we didn't make this obligation to keep these 3 cats, we gave them up to we finally took them back to the store that they were supposed to, the PetSmart, where they had the cat adoptions.
Yeah.
And that lady decides to pop off at me. I said, look, you pop off at me one more time, I'm going to have your volunteer job. And you'll be no longer welcome into this store. So I say, I am pregnant, I am sick because of these cats. Either you take them, or I will call the head of this charity saying that you were supposed to take them within 2 months and never did.
Yeah, we had them a lot longer than we were supposed to.
They're like, come on, just let us have just a few weeks just to
And you were close to actually having Claire. We didn't want to actually have to be in a situation when we had 3 cats at that time that we were fostering. And we were a temporary housing for these cats. So it was one of those, look, we were totally okay with with the obligation, but we can't do it at this point. We love the cats. That's the part that really was the worst. Is we love the cats. Great cats.
Sancho was a black cat, and then we had Tiggy.
Yep.
And Tiggy knew its name.
Yeah, Tiggy was cute. Oh.
And this was before Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Yeah. No
so
Tigs.
Tig didn't come from theirs. It was Tigger. And went Tig and Tiggy came running to his name.
Yeah, you go Tiggy, and oh my gosh, it just
there
ran.
was Rex, which is a Maine Coon cat.
He was not nice.
What?
I don't think
he loved me.
He did not like me. He was the only cat that didn't like me.
Oh, he loved me.
Yeah, he was kind of he was standoffish, and it was like, okay, fine, that's okay. But, I missed. I love them, but.
They weren't aggressive. I wouldn't have a problem with them around the baby. But when you already know you have an aggressive cat and a baby on its way, you need to make different arrangements. Either keep the baby, safe and away from the cat.
Right.
You know, give the cat its own room.
Which we couldn't do.
We couldn't do. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment. But in this
Or,
case,
yeah, because we made the living room the baby's actual area.
Yeah, we turned our entire living room into a nursery.
That was a very large nursery. I mean, it was our starter apartment. It was, just like any other couple who has a starter apartment. It wasn't anything big, very expensive, but very, very small. And, her nursery was nice and big. Mm-hmm. And it was cool. But, in this circumstance, I look at this story and go, well, you already know that the cat's aggressive. I mean, it really honestly could have been neurological. There could have been a couple of things that caused it. When I look at this, I say, well, why did you not take the cat to the vet, do some tests? If this is one of those, if you know that it's a harm to the child, you're kind of obligated to, unfortunately, and it's hard to say, but surrender the cat. So, I'm not a big fan of surrendering pets. But if necessary, comes down to it where a baby's, life is in jeopardy or physical, safety is in danger, you got to do what's best for the child. So, yeah, it was one of those. I just thought it was funny, but it brings up discussion. All right, and next was a really good story that came out today, and I wanted to actually play it. Are you in front of the microphone, Katana? Yeah. Katana's in front of the microphone, so if you actually hear her, that's Katana. You want to say anything? No? Don't want to say anything? Don't want to say anything? Okay. She just wants to lick.
She's like, where's our mommy and daddy? They've been outside for too long.
Yeah, we're getting there. This is a good story, how a funeral home is actually using an actual dog to comfort all of the guests that are coming in mourning the loss of loved ones. So sit back and enjoy.
One look in her eyes, and it makes you feel better. A new funeral home professional is getting great reviews. CBS 2's Lou Young has the story from White Plains.
The newest employee at this stately funeral home on Maple Avenue isn't human. At this place where mourners come to say goodbye to the dead and comfort the living, a professionally trained labradoodle named Lulu has been brought in to deliver a little comfort of her own. It works.
Well, I think the more alone you are, the more necessary it is to make a connection with this type of therapy. I call it therapy, if that's the right word.
It's a therapy dog.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
We've seen comfort dogs before, in hospitals, at disaster scenes, even in courtrooms, but few places are in as consistent need of comfort as a funeral home.
I was stuck in an airport. Flight was delayed about 5 hours, and tensions were high. People were losing their patience, and a woman walked by with a little Maltese. And I just watched the wave of calm that came over everyone.
Matthew Fiorello has seen mourners gravitating to the funeral home's bird aviary, and after the experience at the airport, figured a little physical contact with a hypoallergenic pooch might be even more productive. Lulu seems to dissolve tension and help people stay positive at a difficult time.
You see, she's relaxing herself.
Does it put you at ease?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Kind of nice.
It's wonderful. It really is.
And Lulu seems to understand that not everyone's a dog lover, so she's just as happy to hang out in the office if her services aren't needed. The owner says he'll consider adding dogs to the mix if the business expands, but rules out comfort cats, figuring the birds might be a distraction. We're in White Plains. Lou Young, CBS 2 News.
And like most trained dogs, comfort dogs, Lulu knows she is on the job when her handler puts that special vest on her. When she's not wearing it, she knows she's just another dog.
That was a pretty cool story, I thought.
Very cool.
I enjoyed that one.
Therapy dogs are so important.
Therapy dogs are really important when you go to a hospital, and there's the one that you actually work with. Is that dog still alive? Or did I hear something that it passed away?
What dog?
The one that was in the hospital that goes around, met your dad when he was in there?
It's Buster.
Oh, okay. Oh, I lost my mind there. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, I didn't hear anything about that, did I? Well, so many times I hear, dogs just in age, between dogs moving, obviously the pet parent moving, but, taking the dog with them, or the unfortunate side that dogs do pass away, you just kind of lose track at some point. Sometimes I do.
Yeah, but the Buster, he comes and sees us every 5 weeks. He went to the hospital and he saw my dad quite a few times, and Mr. Perry, he hates when I call him that. Yes, that's my father. But Mr. Perry,
Your dog's chasing a bird.
he saw that. She was like, oh, I'm like, please don't run into the car. Please don't run into the car.
And so Mr. Perry.
So, Mr. Perry got to know my dad a little bit too, so that was pretty cool.
I liked on this one, I liked how the owner of the actual funeral home was smart enough to think about this. He got an actual a dog that was hyperallergenic. Thank you. So people wouldn't be like, oh, I have an allergic reaction to dogs. I have an allergy to them. He was smart. I mean, that actually took some thought. I mean, I was just like, wow, you're really smart. So I was really, really impressed by that story.
Because most people like big dogs, and big dogs got fluff, and what's great too, everything that has to do with that dog is a complete tax write-off. All its food, all its grooming, all its vet bills, every single thing about that dog is tax write-off. But sorry, that comes from people that are being 1099.
Hey, I'm looking forward to next year. Cha-ching!
You know, service dogs are so important. I mean, we've mentioned it many a times, how service dogs do wonders for PTSD sufferers, for mentally handicapped, physically the blind, anxiety. Dogs are just the best thing to have when going through something as severe as dealing with the remains of a loved one. I know the funeral home that we went to when my dad died, I was pretty mad. I was mad at life.
He has dogs. I'm surprised that he doesn't work this out.
Oh, I might mention it to him.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a funny story.
It's not a funny story.
We go to the funeral home to take care of my dad's stuff, and my brother was a mortuary transport back in the day, so he knows how much it really costs to have somebody cremated and stuff like that. Well, he quoted us some ridiculous number. I said no.
I think it was like $2,000.
It was like $3,000.
Was it that high?
It was like $3,000.
It was ridiculous.
I was like, no. And he looks at me like, what? I'm like, you cannot tell me that it's going to cost $3,000 to have my dad cremated. We're not using any of your services. We're not using your funeral home for any service whatsoever. We're not using your vehicle to transport the ashes. 3, the people who are taking the skin grafts, they are the ones, because Dad was donor.
That's right. They paid for all that.
Yeah, they paid for the transport of everything.
Yeah.
Because my dad donated the skin and bone marrow and such. So he goes, okay, well, it got down to like $1,700. I'm like, are you sure that's the best you could do? And he goes, this is seriously fair. He had to put his foot down. He was like, this is seriously fair. Anything lower, this funeral home doesn't make a dime. Okay, fine.
I thought you went to 14 something.
I don't remember.
I think it went to 14 something.
But I
you
really,
were a hard ass.
Yeah, and kind of find out, not even a year later, I start working at Shadowwood. And all of a sudden he comes strolling in with his schnauzer to get groomed. And I don't think he recognized me because he sees more people than I see of him.
Yeah, but I had been working there at some point, and I was like, boy, I recognize this guy, and it took a long time for us
to realize, oh shoot, you're the one that I thought I haggled down.
Do you remember when I figured it out? It was me who figured it out. I go, I know who that is. And Sarah's like, oh, thank goodness. Who is it? I go, you are not going to want me to tell you.
And kind of find out that this customer with the schnauzer, her name is Holly, who her dad is part owner of the funeral home, is also my boss's cousin.
Oops.
Oh, man. And I called my brother, and I told my brother about this. And he goes, well, how much did you come down to? How much was it? $3,000. He goes, oh, that's not bad. He goes, that's actually pretty reasonable. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. Well, I got him down to like 17. He goes, that's my sister. That's my baby sister. It was hilarious.
It was quite comical, but every time I see him, and I know the same thing with you, every time we see him, we just remember that day. It's like, oh.
It would have made that whole process much better if there was a golden doodle running around that room.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they bring you into this room where there's sections of coffins.
Yeah.
So you can
It's like,
look at the style.
It's like test driving a car almost.
Yeah, you get to look at it and all these different add-ons to put on the coffin that you're going to bury and never see again. And then clothes hanging there that you can put your deceased loved one in. And I'm sitting here like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to be here. Take me over to McDonald's. I'll talk to you about this at McDonald's right on to see death.
Well, no, you do. You do. They're burgers.
Oh, I don't really care about that part.
Well,
so, if there was a huge golden doodle tromping around that room, I would have been like, okay, 3,000. All right.
I'll give you 4. I'll give you 4 because I get to play with the dog. Yeah.
That's fine. Do you mind if I sit on the floor and play with him? Oh, well, let me pick out this mat real quick. You gotta get the dog to the groomer. I know a great groomer. That would have made everything so much better. So I hope more funeral homes start thinking about this.
Yeah, I love the idea.
Hyperallergenic dog. It could be a Bichon if they like small dogs. Get a big one, a golden doodle, and then a small Bichon. Just in case people don't like big dogs. They like small dogs. Get a cute Bichon. Keep it up. You know, keep it definitely cute and fluffy and clean and soft. I bet you would have a lot less, a lot less friction.
Yeah, I think that all funeral homes must have that this is not the time that you want to meet somebody that works there, and it's always under the worst circumstances, so it never is going to go well. This definitely is an icebreaker. So, hey, if anyone out there, if you actually work at a funeral home or you own a funeral home, we just hopefully helped you out with an idea that might help you out. So, hey, that's a good thing, right?
All you need to do is get it potty trained. You know, start out as a puppy, get it potty trained.
Of course, you gotta have this. It has to have this
service.
Yeah.
You want to get its good canine citizenship. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of process, but again, all of that is tax write-off. It's all tax deductible.
You could probably already get a dog that's got the service.
You pay the fee.
Yeah, you can get one that's already, gone through the process, so it's all done. And then you can always start over, get a second one that's a puppy and start that way.
My Kita.
So, yeah. That was the 2 stories I wanted to play in the GND news, and that
Tana wanted to go inside. She wants out. She wants inside.
So that is GND news for this week. So this concludes episode 81 of the Groomer Next Door. Before I put the final closing on this episode, I'm gonna miss doing this. Sit down with you and have our time doing this podcast. We'll do it again in 3 weeks for the 4th of July weekend. But most of our shows will be remotely created. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, so if the quality is not on point because one of us are either calling in or Facebooking or FaceTiming in, that is why.
Yeah, it might be a little challenging, so...
It's better than going 3 months without a show.
Well, that's it. For a lot of you, I know that a lot of you actually enjoy this, and we really do enjoy making it. So this is one of those things, I don't know how it's going to work out. This is all going to be new territory again. But, there are a lot of shows out there that do this. So it's not like it's unheard of. Just, we've never done it.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this being over with. And this is our normal routine again, where we're both sitting here and tomorrow we go back to work and everything's normal. You go to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna stay around with Claire, spend a few hours with her before I leave, and start my adventure. So it's all really strange, but I love my time at Shadowwood, and I love being able to work next to you every day. So with that, I hope that that's not such a doggy downer to end the show. But I'm Chris Green. Have a pet-tastic week.
And from all of us to you, we're going to miss you. And, safe travels to Springfield. And hopefully you learn a lot and come back to me safe, sound, and full-fledged groomer.
Hopeful.
And on that note, I'm Sarah Green. Life is short. Play with your pet.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.
Was without doubt the worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.